The night, August 19, 2020, that was the day it happened. I reported it. Police came to my house, had a rape kit, evidence of my clothes, DNA. July 2021, got a phone call, actually got a mail saying I need to call this number for the state attorney. So I did. Told me that my case is closed because of statements. Thinking is that there's not enough evidence. Mad AF. What got me so scared was that this guy is running around like nothing. Oh, like he did nothing to me. It doesn't matter if you're drunk. It doesn't matter if you're high. You didn't get consent. You said no. The state attorney told me. To me, it sounded like I was lying. And I wasn't lying. Phone call. Couldn't believe it. I felt numb. It felt like no one believed me. Just felt hurt of this guy is running around. And he hurt me physically, emotionally, mentally. I had to go to therapy for it. Now therapy is going great. Therapy is helping me so much. I want justice. It gets me so mad that nobody's doing anything. I got the phone call. I felt like I was victimized. Oh, she's just a victim. Leave it alone. Oh, she might be lying. August 19 of 2020, around 2 or 3 in the morning. We were out and got a phone call saying, hey, let's hang out. I said sure because I didn't want my friend to go by herself. So we did. At the person's house, was hungry, so I had cereal. And then after we smoked a blunt, we went to a room because there was no couch or anything. I don't know why there was no couch, so we went to the room, smoked a blunt. After that, my friend said she'll be back. And then that's when everything happened. Then that's when everything blacked out. But that's what happened. I should have gone to the police after, but I couldn't. Went to my best friend's cousin's house. Slept there. The day I went home, I couldn't handle it, so I told my mom. And that's when the next day police came, reported it, gave them my clothes. I went to the hospital, got a rape kit. I met the detective there, told him everything. Didn't heard from anything. Just felt like it took forever to get the guy. They interview him. All I know, interview, that he said I was screaming, but it was enjoyable screaming. For a fact, it wasn't. But that's all I know. Nightmares kept going. Still keep going till this day. Flashbacks to he hurt me physically, emotionally, mentally. Physically meaning I'm married. There's times I feel like it's me, but I'm learning it's not. Ruined marriage a little. So disgusting. But I'm learning with therapy that it's not my fault. Mentally messed up. Physically, I can't go to the store by myself, I get very anxiety. At times I can't walk to Walgreens next to me because there's times I get hollered at and I always feel like I'm at Target. And that's when anxiety kicks in, that's when paranoid kicks in, and it just makes me scared. And I don't want to be... I had to go to therapy. I was in therapy when I was in West Palm. Now I live in Virginia because I got married. So I was in therapy. I still am in therapy. Right now, therapy is going great. I remember physically, mentally, emotionally not okay at times. It messes you up. He messed me up. I don't feel like I'm the same because of him. I wake up from a nightmare and it just feels like I'm there, and it just feels like my body is tensed up. My body's hurt from it. Wake up or have a flashback. My body aches where the guy hurt me. Made me think, if this wouldn't have happened, everything would have been different. My mindset, physically, mentally, but I'm here and I'm still going. This guy hurt me mentally. From that phone call of the state attorney not letting the case continuing, it just made me feel like they didn't listen to me, or they didn't understand me, or they just left me. The nightmares, the flashbacks, like I just want them to go away. I want this guy locked up. I feel like nobody is listening to me. You probably weren't that drunk. I was high. Even though they didn't find evidence of alcohol and marijuana in my system, it does not mean I said yes. I didn't say yes. It doesn't matter. I was raped, okay? I was raped and the fucking state attorney and detective didn't do anything. I have to sleep with a little light because I'm scared of the dark now. I am afraid of the dark because of that night. I'm really traumatized. I'm just so grateful for therapy. I am grateful for family. I am grateful for a husband that loves me and cares for me and understands. It understands it's not my fault. I want justice. And it just feels like I lost, but at the same time, I can't think of that. I did not lose. I feel with the state attorney, I just feel like they just brush things off about these situations. Okay, she was drunk, but was she really? Okay, she was high, but was she really? Who cares? It's not in your system. You need to fucking believe the survivor. I was drunk. Yes, I was high. You can't prove that I was drunk or high because of the statements. I don't understand the system. That's why people don't report. You need more statements. You need more evidence. What more evidence do you need? You have my clothes. You have my DNA. You have his DNA. Not helpful. They say they are, but they're not helpful. I don't understand. Why are they looking at the statements? You're supposed to look at the evidence. Look at me. They're not going through of what I'm going through physically, mentally, emotionally. I have a nightmare. It's like when I wake up, it's like, when is this over? When are they going to fucking catch him? Okay, they say, oh, we have to wait until he does it to someone else. Why do we have to wait until he does it to someone else? why we have to wait until there's more evidence, which there is a lot of evidence. There's times I question myself. Is this me? Is it because it's me? Is my best to live a life free, live a life not afraid? To me, it sounds like they believed him of whatever his statement said. Does not matter again that you don't find drug or alcohol in your system. You need to believe the survivor. There's so many of us out there that hasn't got justice. My story going to do something. I have an army, a family, a friend, and we are coming for you. And there's nothing anyone could stop me. The state attorney told me at the phone call, I felt like I couldn't go back to work. I felt so numb. It's happening all over again. I couldn't stop crying. I just felt like, did he win? Why is nobody stopping doing anything? Like, I don't understand why cases get closed like mine. I don't understand why nobody helps us. And I'm not shutting up of what happened. Said they didn't find no drug or marijuana in my system. So they can't approve that I was drunk or high. And when I heard that, I wanted to tell her, like, you don't believe me? You think I would lie about this? Like, they just brush things off. They don't care. They don't care about the survivors. They don't care about their mental health, physically, mentally. And they're not living. They're not living in fear for their life. They brush things off because they have other things to do. I would not lie about this. Why would I lie? I barely knew the guy. Me and my best friend did not know him personally. I think they see is just this little thing. But they're not living. They're not going to therapy. They're not living in the flashbacks. They're not waking up with nightmares. I do not want to be afraid anymore. I said no so many times. I screamed so many times. I hit him, scratched him. I don't even know if they saw him physically and saw like hits or scratches. But I did hit him and I did scratch him. He left me a bruise where he choked me, where he held me in my hands. Bruise near my crotch, near my vagina. I had his skin on my fingernails because I was scratching him. And look in his room, my fake lashes, one of them stayed there. No, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. They just brushed off my case like that because they couldn't find drug or alcohol in my system. We went to a party. We went to a cousin's house, my best friend's cousin's house. My best friend got a phone call saying, let's hang out. So we did. I didn't want her to go alone. She said, if you want. Or she said, if you want, we don't have to go. I won't go if you don't go. Okay, we'll hang out. So we did. Remember going to the house. It was very close. He didn't have no TV. He didn't have like a couch. I remember eating cereal. I remember in the room. He didn't have a couch. And then we went in the room, watched a show, smoked a blunt, and my best friend said, I'll be back. So So I was like, okay. And I just felt so dizzy, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna lay here for a little bit. And the guy was across the bed, and I was just like, okay, he's not gonna touch me. So I was just like, okay. I see him. I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit. I woke up, clothes off. I felt a breeze, and he kissed me in the mouth, and I said, I have a boyfriend. And like, he kept kissing me, and I said no. And he kept kissing me, and then I remember he licked his hand, put his hand on my vagina, tried to finger me, and I said no a couple times, and then he wanted me to give him a blowjob, and I said no, and he's like, he grabbed me, pinned me down, put his penis in me, and I said no. I hit him, scratched him, and I was yelling, screaming, and he said to shut the fuck up or I'm gonna choke you, and I did not listen. I was screaming my lungs out, and he choked me a couple times. I don't know how many times, but it was a couple times. And then he choked me, and then I tried to hit him and scratch him again, and then he pinned me down with his two arms and just kept going, and then I said no, and then kept yelling, and then he turned me over, and then he did that from the back. Going on, the door was closed, and I don't remember that the door was being closed, like it was open. And I remember getting off the bed, trying to crawl because I was drunk and I was high. I was crawling to the door, and then he dragged me back to the bed, and he kept going, and he kept saying, shut the fuck up or I'm gonna choke you, and then I did not listen, and then, yeah. That's what happened. And I kept yelling, and then that's when my best friend heard me, and she saw me crying. She broke down the door, and she said what happened, and she was yelling at the guy, cursing at the guy. You took advantage of her. And he goes, she was coming on to me, and she said, I know my best friend. She has a fucking boyfriend. And she was just yelling at him. She was about to hit him, and I hit him with a phone. Went back to your cousin's house. And then I remember going in the shower because I just felt disgusting. I didn't shower with soap. I just showered with water, and I was crying, and then I went to bed, and then my best friend's cousin, which is also my best friend, said what was going on, and my best friend said I was about to beat someone's ass, and she told her what happened, and then I don't remember what happened, but my best friend said that I said, anxiety is up the roof, I can't, and I don't remember saying that, but she said I did. Anxiety attack, and while I was sleeping, my best friend said that she had to hold me in her chest and say I was okay, but I don't remember. She said I was kicking and crying. Oh, my best friends, I know them, and they would not do nothing to hurt me. They would protect me. Even my best friend that came with me, she would protect me, and from this day they will protect me too. That is my story, and I'm going to keep telling my story until this guy is in jail until the rest of his life. He can rot in hell. I want justice. I want justice for all the survivors. And you guys are not alone. We are not alone. Even though we feel like we are at times. I'm mad because he's running around and I'm over here and traumatized. I feel like he did this before because he just walked away like nothing. I was drunk and high and you sexually assaulted me and I said no. I'm strong enough to not let you in. I'm strong enough to keep going. I'm strong enough to tell how I feel. I felt like I didn't have control. I felt like I wasn't in control of my case because I did not say, okay, you could close my case. No, they decided to close my case. Didn't want my case to close. That's my story. My name's GeniHernandez Mosley. I'm 24 years old. At the time, August 19, 2020, I was 23. And I was sexually assaulted. And I want this to stop. I want this to stop. I want everyone to believe a survivor. And not just look at the details of the statements or, oh, she didn't have drugs or alcohol in her system. I want you to look at the details of the person who got hurt physically, emotionally, and mentally. Detective and state attorney and the guy is not living in the nightmares, in the flashbacks, anxiety, and paranoid, and living in fear of everyone thinking you're a target. Fuck you. Because I know you are laughing because you thought you won. But you're not gonna win. Because I'm coming for you. I want everyone to believe a survivor. Because this is not fair. But this is my story. Thank you.